Our year was kicked off by Hollywood legend Eric Bana driving a Lamborghini with passion.
Car's got aero, car's got a ton of grip, the car's got, way more speed than I have, so I'm just creeping up on it and trying to find it slowly. Obviously with a slower car you can get to that window a lot quicker, and with this I'm just very mindful of the fact that it's a car that I need to treat with a bit of respect, so it's not my car either.
And a group of unlikely drivers in some equally unlikely race cars at Bathurst.
The track is awesome. People talk about how good the Bathurst track is. Unless you've raced here, unless you've actually got into a car and gone around it quick, nobody has any idea how good it is.
The proximity of the walls to the track is incredible, and little things like even going up Mountain Straight over the hump, just the lightness of the car was quite amazing, and reminding yourself that these walls are incredibly close across the top.
Along the way, we met many of the stars of the V8 supercar circus.
Maybe we've exceeded where we should have been, but then the quickest guy will always win. So if we're the best, we can win this thing. I don't think it's a matter of the team choking or me choking or whatever. If we're quick enough, we'll win it, and that's got to be our focus. And 888's the benchmark, and if we beat them, then we're probably going to win.
When you're sitting at home doing nothing, you got to do your training and stuff, but there's nothing better than going driving, and I get bored sitting at home for more than a week, so got to be racing something and driving around. It's always different every week, it's never the same, and racing different stuff as well. It's always different races you're up against, it's never predictable, and the rush of winning or putting that good lap together, it makes it all worth it.
Oh, look, there's always been a couple of tense moments. I think Tasmania was probably the highlight of it. We had an altercation on track, and of course that was the first time in I think about 8 years that we've been together that actually that has happened. We respect each other, we push each other, but again we give each other enough room, and one hell of a guy, one hell of a driver, and he's got everything going for him.
On this circuit, some of the owners are just as colourful as the drivers. Who could forget the big personality of Betty Clemenco?
I mean, I've got goosebumps just talking about it, but it's that perfect moment in motorsport, and everyone who's in motorsport knows that perfect moment when the stars align, and I call it carology, when everyone just aligns with each other, and it's perfection, and that's what I aim for.
We met the other halves too, and they told us it's not all about the glamour.
Yeah, it's not all that glamorous, but it's fun. I mean, you get to travel to awesome places like Townsville. We go to, we have a fantastic time. So it's not glamorous, but it's a pretty good life.
Glamorous at the track, not so much. These tracks are not exactly as glamorous as someone might think. So there's a lot of dust, there's a lot of early morning starts. There's a lot of, I can't be bothered to get ready in the morning, so I'll just do it in the car on the way here. So the hair might be done, but the makeup is still getting put on at 6 a.m. in the morning as we rock up.
Day in, day out, we're looking after our husbands. So I have a lot to do with the business, so managing the administration, the calendar, telling Mark where he's got to be, helping him with social media and marketing, and I do all of that so that he can just focus on racing. It's full on, and especially when we bring the children, because I'm chasing after them. There's no real area to go, and obviously it's a hazardous environment.
Our man on the Grand Prix circuit kept us up to date and even took us to the moving memorial for his friend Ayrton Senna.
And I walked into the paddock, and he came up to me in broken English, he didn't speak English very well, and said, "Why are you taking all those pictures of me?" I said, "Because I work for a Brazilian magazine. They want pictures of Brazilian drivers racing in England." He said, "Well, I need a photographer because I need to send pictures back to Brazil, to the newspapers, to get some publicity." He said, "Would you be my photographer?" I said, "Yeah, of course, as long as you pay me."
Ivan Capelli also charted the rise and rise of Daniel Ricciardo.
That Ricciardo is the driver of the future, not just because he's fast, but because Ricciardo can really be the new star of the Formula One in the future. Daniel Ricciardo will again prove that the Red Bull is really competitive, especially in Singapore.
And Dean Canto introduced us to an array of characters and products from across the spectrum that is motorsport today.
Wow, That is the best road car I've ever driven and the most fun. I guess the most amazing thing for me with this car would be the gearbox. It's just seamless. In between each gear change, it's like someone's dragging you forward. There's no delay. Your head doesn't even move down and the car gets on with the job.
It's a real passion of mine, but one of the other aspects, I guess, is when someone comes and picks up their helmet. Quite often the comment I get is, gee, it's so much better than I anticipated, and they absolutely love it. So I do get a bit of a buzz out of that end of it as well.
How realistic can this be? We can go and make it as realistic as it is being on a race circuit. We can up the ante, as it were. We can get things like tyre degradation, fuel usage and so forth. Even invulnerability can be turned off so that if you do crash at the end of the day and you are out of the race.
So down to turn 1 again for the second time. Whoa. Ouch. That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, these are electric powered go-karts, so they've all got electric motors with 4 batteries. A little bit more powerful than your standard petrol powered go-kart, equivalent of about 15 horsepower compared to a petrol kart that's about 8 horsepower. Heaps of torque, so they accelerate really quick, a lot faster than a petrol kart. So it's a pretty good rush to drive these things on our track.
It's just the adrenaline, the speed, and it's doing something that I want to do. It just happens to be motorsport, you know. It could have been, I played so many sports when I was younger. I guess I got sucked into motorsport when I was young. I'm just stuck. I'm basically a business. I'm trying to sell myself. I'm in a pretty harsh world of motorsport and men. So yeah, I think I'm basically just trying to tell them that, you know, don't let anyone obviously tell you what you can and can't do.